Welcome everybody. I know the creature from the Krusty Krab video is taking a while, but please just be patient. I want the video to be good as possible, and plus there have been a lot of changes to it. The script has been edited multiple times over and the audio had to be redone, and now I'm working with a brand new editing software being Adobe Premiere, but it's coming eventually, trust me. In the meantime, I'll try to work on smaller videos like this to make the wait seem less annoying for both you and me. This is the new iPhone SE, and I know what it is, but don't at the same time. Seriously, that name makes no sense. I heard that there already was an iPhone SE, but either way, what does SE even stand for? Anyway, we're gonna be going through the entire minute-long trailer for Apple's new iPhone and discussing why I think it looks like a piece of rubbish, alongside Animal Crossing New Horizons gameplay in the background. So let's get this show on the road. I already said why the name is stupid, but beyond that, it puzzles me why they're acting like the Touch ID is a new idea. This has been a part of the iPhone since the iPhone 5S back in 2013, 7 years ago, and now we have Face ID, where the iPhone scans your face to unlock your phone, so highlighting Touch ID doesn't make sense to me personally, but whatever, let's move on. Okay, here's where my bigger problems start showing up. What I want to know is, what is the A13 chip? They tell us nothing. If the consumer doesn't know what it is, why should they care? Maybe I could look it up and find information, but this is the reveal trailer. It's your job to introduce the new iPhone and tell us all about it. It's like if Nintendo said in the reveal trailer for the next DS that it would have all the power of blank, and they didn't tell us what it was until the system launched, and people found out that it was the glasses-free 3D visuals. Like, does the chip give the phone more storage? A higher resolution screen? Please, just tell me what it does. Moving on. Why just portrait mode? Why not landscape? Also, who cares? We already had special camera filters on the iPhone 11 and 11 Pro, which both had multiple cameras. Besides, if people really wanted filters in their photos or videos, they'd just use Snapchat, with a wider variety of filters that are very impressive even to this day. But let's just pretend Snapchat doesn't exist for a second, because the filters themselves, they're bad. They're the most basic things you can find in free photo editing apps and editing softwares, and yes, that includes iMovie, which is an editing software that Apple literally made themselves. I'm sure there's more than this, but if these lazy things were what they chose to show off above everything else, I can't imagine the rest being much better. Please prove me wrong on that. Please. I refuse to believe you. I repeat, I refuse to believe you. For God's sake, the iPhone can't even display the screen in 1080p yet. It's still 720p. Want proof? Go on the YouTube app and tap on any video that displays in 4K on a TV or monitor. The most you will get is 1080p, which is a lie. So, in that case, even if you do have a 2160p camera, what's the point? If the screen can't display the picture in 2160p or even 1080p, why bother wasting money on expensive 2160p cameras for your new iPhones? This is something that bugs me with other iPhones as well, because Apple refuses to just open their eyes, and it annoys me to no end that they keep acting like their 2160p cameras actually mean something. My iPhone 8 allows me to set the camera to be at full 2160p 60 frames per second, yet photos on it look like they're being displayed at 480p at best. And I highly doubt that future iPhones are much better. If I were to say anything positive to round this part off, though, thank goodness that we're finally back to the sleek one-camera design. Other iPhones that implemented multiple cameras into them just look ugly in my opinion. Ow, not even I could be that desperate if I tried. There are 3 main problems with this. The first and most simple problem is that, again, you've done this before. Many prior iPhones have already been waterproof, which leads us into problem number 2. This is unimpressive compared to prior iPhones. Not only did you beat yourself to this, but you also did it better back then. The iPhone 11 Pro and Pro Max were both water resistant up to 4 meters for the same time. You have a total of 1. And third, this does not change the fact that it's still hard to touch the screen with water on it. Here's an idea. Instead of wasting your money on those so-called 2160p cameras, why don't you invest in something that will make the screen water repellent? That would be both new and useful, and don't tell me it can't be done. If they can make water-repellent clothes, Apple can invest money into fully water-repellent iPhones. After all, they're only the most profitable company of all of existence, or at least one of them. Can you be more specific? How long are we talking? Because every time you say your phones have long battery lives, they always end up dying quickly. I personally have had very few problems with my iPhone 8's battery life, but I know of friends and family with better phones that have had numerous problems with it, so this one better be good, though the rest of this trailer does not give me much hope. Also, why even mention this if you yourself are saying that it's not technically even true? At the bottom, it veritably says that the battery life varies based on how demanding the app you're using is, so shut up! In case you haven't already gotten the hint, it's obvious that Apple is really grasping at straws to find things to talk about in the trailer that isn't even 1 minute long. Again, this is nothing new! You've had this in your phones for a while, Apple. Did you seriously forget about all of your other iPhones? Because the lack of new things in this phone that you're trying to pass off as cool and innovative are redundant at this point. Huh? Low price? Again, how low are we talking? You are notorious for having high prices on your phones ever since the very beginning when you released the first iPhone for $500. So is the price really that low? And is it worth it compared to getting an iPhone 8 used with a phone plan? Because that's all I see in this. It's another iPhone 8. The design is the same goddamn thing as the 8. It falsely claims to have a 2160p camera like the 8. It's waterproof like the 8. And I could go on. That's all I see. A repackaged iPhone 8. So must I ask again, what's the point? Why make a new phone that's the same as an old one? Why not just push the old one more to get more people who don't care for the X and 11 to buy the 8? It's not even that old. It came out alongside the X. Why bother? What's the point of this piece of crap? I love how it ends by perfectly proving my point from earlier, saying that the iPhone is about privacy. Meanwhile, they highlighted privacy in this trailer, knowing that it was nothing new and, at this point, what's expected of Apple. Jesus. That was the iPhone SE, and it sucks, but I see something worrying in it. What I see is Apple being lazy. This, alongside the constant updates of every phone that make the Dynasty extremely confusing, tells me that Apple doesn't care anymore. They aren't making new iPhones because they want to evolve the brand and make something new to make customers' lives even better. They're making new iPhones because it's expected of them, and they just want to make money. They want to roll in the dough from new phones that barely add anything. I keep asking, what's the point? Because I'm legitimately curious. What is the point? Why are they making this? It's nothing that we haven't seen before, and the trailer was just made up of both lies, like the 2160p camera, and things that are expected of the iPhone at this point, like privacy. If I were to say anything to Apple, I'd say that they need to take a step back and think about what they're doing. They aren't thinking, they're just doing. One second they introduce services that nobody cares about, like Apple Arcade and Apple TV+. The next they're reusing ideas and trying to pass them off as revolutionary. Take a year or two off from making phones, Apple. Think of something that will get consumers excited at an affordable price. Stop overpricing your phones, AirPods, and headphones, because if you continue, you will lose your customers. They'll have no reason to stick around anymore. Apple Arcade and TV Plus are pointless and stupid. AirPods are ridiculously expensive to the point where most people would rather buy them made by a third-party company. And their phones are striving for new additions that mean something. Take time to think about your future and ways to keep people buying your products instead of moving on to other companies. I want to see you move past brand recognition and try to make something spectacular while keeping everything that made previous phones great. Anyway, that's all I have to say on the matter. Thanks for watching and stay safe. Remember to avoid getting bored during this time at home while staying safe. Play video games, talk to friends and family on Skype, Zoom, or FaceTime. Take a day or two off from the news. The last thing you want is to be that one guy screaming that we're all doomed and getting an anxiety attack. Please remember to care for yourself, and have a nice day.